Al at Home by Arnold Lobel. The Guest. Al was at home. How good it feels to be sitting by this fire, said Al. It is so cold and snowy outside. Al was eating buttered toast and hot pea soup for supper. Al heard a loud sound at the front door. Who is out there, banging and pounding at my door on a night like this? He said. Al opened the door. No one was there, only the snow and the wind. Al sat near the fire again. There was another loud noise at the door. Who can it be? Said Al, knocking and thumping at my door on a night like this. Al opened the door. No one was there, only the snow and the cold. The poor old winter is knocking at my door, said Al. Perhaps it wants to sit by the fire. Well, I'll be kind and let the winter come in. Al opened his door very wide. Come in, Winter, Al said. Come in and warm yourself for a while. Winter came in the house. It came in very fast. A cold wind pushed Al against the wall. Winter ran around the room. It blew out the fire in the fireplace. The snow whirled up the stairs and whooshed down the hallway. Winter, cried Al, you are my guest. This is no way to behave. But Winter did not listen. It made the window shades flap and shiver. It turned the pea soup into hard green ice. Winter went into all the rooms of Al's house. Soon everything was covered with snow. You must go, Winter, shouted Al. Go away, right now. The wind blew around and around. Then Winter rushed out and slammed the front door. Goodbye, called Al, and do not come back. Al made a new fire in the fireplace. The room became warm again. The snow melted away. The hard green ice turned back into soft pea soup. Al sat down in his chair and quietly finished his supper. Strange bumps. Al was in bed. It is time to blow out the candle and go to sleep, he said with a yawn. Then Al saw two bumps under the blanket at the bottom of the bed. What can those strange bumps be? Asked Al. Al lifted up the blanket. He looked down into the bed. All he could see was darkness. Al tried to sleep, but he could not. What if those two strange bumps grow bigger and bigger while I sleep? Asked Al. That would not be pleasant. Al moved his right foot up and down. The bump on the right moved up and down. One of those bumps is moving, said Al. Al moved his left foot up and down. The bump on the left moved up and down. The other bump is moving, cried Al. Al pulled all of the covers off his bed. The bumps were gone. All Al could see were at the bottom of his bed were his own 2 feet. But now I am cold, said Al. I will cover myself with the blankets again. As he soon did, he saw the same 2 bumps. Those bumps are back, shouted Al. Bumps, bumps, bumps. I will never sleep tonight. Al jumped up and down on top of his bed. Where are you? What are you? He cried. With a crash and a bang, the bed came falling down. Al ran down the stairs. He sat in a chair near the fire. I will let those 2 strange bumps sit on my bed all by themselves, said Al. Let them grow as big as they wish. I will sleep right here where I am safe. And that is what he did. Tear, water, tea. Al took the kettle out of the cupboard. Tonight I will make tear water tea, he said. He put the kettle on his lap. Now, said Al, I will begin. Al sat very still. He began to think of things that were very sad. Chairs with broken legs, said Al. His eyes began to water. Songs that could not be sung, said Al, because the words had been forgotten. Al began to cry. A large tear rolled down and dropped into the kettle. Spoons that have fallen behind the stove and are never seen again, said Al. More tears dropped into the kettle. Books that cannot be read, said Al, because some of the pages have been torn out. Clocks that have stopped, said Al, with no one near to wind them up. Al was crying. Many large tears dropped into the kettle. Mornings nobody saw because everybody was sleeping, sobbed Al. Mashed potatoes left on a plate, he cried, because no one wanted to eat them, and pencils that are too short to use. Al thought about many other sad things. He cried and he cried. Soon the kettle was all filled up with tears. There, said Al, that does it. Al stopped crying. He put the kettle on the stove to boil for tea. Al felt happy as he filled his cup. It tasted "A little bit salty," he said, "but Tearwater tea is always very good." Upstairs and downstairs. Al's house had an upstairs and a downstairs. There were 20 steps on the stairway. Some of the time, Al was upstairs in his bedroom, and other times, Al was downstairs in his living room. When Al was downstairs, he said, "I wonder how my upstairs is." When Al was upstairs, he said, "I wonder how my downstairs is getting along. I'm always missing one place or the other. There must be a way," said Al, "to be upstairs and to be downstairs at the same time. Perhaps if I run very, very fast, I can be in both places at once." Al ran up the stairs. "I am up," he said. Al ran down the stairs. "I am down," he said. Al ran up and down the stairs faster and faster. "Owl!" he cried. "Are you downstairs?" There was no answer. "No," said Al. "I am not downstairs because I am upstairs. I am not running fast enough." "Al!" he shouted. "Are you upstairs?" There was no answer. "No," said Al. "I am not upstairs because I am downstairs. I must run even faster." "Faster! Faster! Faster!" cried Al. Al ran upstairs and downstairs all evening, but he could not be in both places at once. "When I am up," said Al, "I am not down. When I am down, I am not up. All I am is very tired." Al sat down to rest. He sat on the 10th step because it was a place that was right in the middle. Owl and the Moon. One night, Owl went down to the seashore. He sat on a large rock and looked out at the waves. Everything was dark. Then a small tip of the moon came up over the edge of the sea. Owl watched over the moon. It climbed higher and higher into the sky. Soon the whole round moon was shining. Owl sat on the rock and looked up in the moon for a long time. "If I am looking at you, moon, then you must be looking back at me. We must be very good friends." The moon did not answer, but Owl said, "I will come back and see you again, moon, but now I must go home." Owl walked down the path. He looked up at the sky. The moon was still there. It was following him. "No, no, moon," said Owl. "It is kind of you to light my way, but you must stay up over the sea, where you look so fine." Owl walked on a little farther. He looked at the sky again. There was the moon coming right along with him. "Dear moon," said Owl, "you really must not come home with me. My house is small. You would not fit through the door, and I have nothing to give you for supper." Owl kept on walking. The moon sailed after him over the tops of the trees. "Moon," said Owl, "I think that you do not hear me." Owl climbed to the top of the hill. He shouted as loudly as he could, "Goodbye, moon." The moon went behind some clouds. Owl looked and he looked. The moon was gone. "It is always a little sad to say goodbye to a friend," said Owl. Owl came home. He put on his pajamas and went to bed. The room was very dark. Owl was still feeling sad. All at once, Owl's bedroom was filled with a silver light. Owl looked out of the window. The moon was coming from behind the clouds. "Moon, you have followed me all the way home. What a good, round friend you are," said Owl. Then Owl put his head on the pillow and he closed his eyes. The moon was shining down through the window. Owl did not feel sad at all.